Hello, I am Dr. Chanchaldeep Kaur with another interesting and learning episode of B Pharma on the important unit of manufacture of sterile and non-sterile products, which is very important unit of the section of clinical and hospital pharmacy of B Pharm 7th semester. Let's start our episode while taking a look at what we are going to learn today. Module 1 will be introduction, Module 2 policy making of manufacturable items, Module 3 demand and costing, Module 4 personal requirements, Module 5 manufacturing practice, Module 6 master formula card, Module 7 production control, Module 8 manufacturing records, and Module 9 will be conclusion. Module 1 Introduction. Let's start with general introduction about manufacture of sterile and non-sterile products. In the hospital, according to the bed size, the requirement is analyzed and then decision is taken whether to manufacture which sterile and non-sterile products. Initially, the economy of the hospital is assessed and then the policy is made for the manufacturing items. Hospitals can prepare sterile items like large volume fluids and other parenterals, or non-sterile liquid oral preparations, external and bulk preparations, etc. The basic objective of present module is to explain the various policies of hospitals related to starting manufacturing in the hospitals. It explains estimation of demand and costing, requirements of personnel, and all the production related requirements. Now comes module 2, policy making of manufacturable items. There are various factors which decides the manufacturing of items in the hospitals. The important ones are as follows. First is material requirement. It includes the basic requirements of materials. Second, manufacturing requirement. It includes the requirements for manufacturing. As we know that for manufacturing sterile preparations, complete setup of aseptic area is needed. Third, manufacturing staff. Trained and qualified staff or personnel is needed for the manufacturing. Manufacturing capacity. The output or what will be the capacity of the manufacturing. The quantity of supply should match with the demand so that this is also assessed. Manufacturing equipment. It includes the various types of equipments needed. Like for sterile preparations, we need laminar airflow, membrane filters, and all the equipments for maintaining the sterility. Similarly, for the production of non-sterile products, we need mixers, mills, homogenizers, etc. as per requirement of the product. Sixth is operating cost. This is the most important parameter as the cost required for the manufacturing has to be well analyzed. There should be cost effectiveness in manufacturing. The products required regularly in bulk are decided to manufacture in the hospital. The decision is made whether to make or buy the products, and this is done on the basis of following four parameters. First is quality. The quality is compared between the product to be purchased from outside or manufactured in-house, and accordingly the decision is taken whether to manufacture in hospital or not. Second comes quantity. The products used in large quantity in hospitals are manufactured in hospital. The rest are recommended to purchase. Third parameter is cost. The cost of the products are also compared whether to prepare or buy. Fourth comes assurance of supply. The time duration of getting the supply in the hospital is very important. The assurance of early availability is more when the products are manufactured in the hospital. So, now we will be discussing module 3, which is demand and costing. First, we will see what is demand. The production of sterile and non-sterile products depend upon the requirements of the hospitals and is related to the future demand. Following are the three methods of estimation of demand. First method is known as judgmental method. The quantity of the product needed is decided by the judgment of clinical and pharmacy staff of the hospital. Second is past history. The previous consumption pattern is extended to the future by constructing a graph of different time series and extrapolating it. Third method is causal model. Considering various factors, the demand is assessed. Next term that we will be discussing is costing. In this parameter, it is checked that which items are required in large quantity. It is economical to manufacture the items which are used in bulk in the hospitals. There are two important types of costs. They are direct and indirect costs. The parameters on which costing depends are as follows. First, we will see what the direct cost is. It includes basic cost for manufacturing important ones, and they are: first is cost of raw materials. Raw materials include drugs as well as additives. Second comes containers and closures expenses. It will be according to the product and its requirements. Third comes wages, the salary of all the technical and non-technical staff to be engaged in manufacturing. Next comes label and carton expenses. The labeling requirements as per schedules of Drug and Cosmetics Act is done, and then the expenses are calculated. Next comes testing charges, the chemicals, equipments and manpower required for testing or evaluations of the products. Next is indirect type of cost. The correlated costs which are not direct ones but are very essential for the manufacturing. They are known as indirect costs. They include following ones: water and electricity charges, furniture and housekeeping charges, office cost, printing and stationery charges, security and licensing fee, depreciation of machines and building, repairs of machines, cost of laboratory animals. Total cost is equal to direct cost plus pro rata indirect cost plus cost per unit. Further, cost per unit can be calculated by total cost divided by number of units. Dear students, now we will be studying module 4, which is personal requirements. For the manufacturing of the products, whether sterile or non-sterile, the personnels or staff required should be well qualified and experienced. The requirements of staff should be as per GMP requirements, that is Good Manufacturing Practices requirements. For manufacturing of sterile products, complete knowledge of aseptic area is essential. Personnel are the main source of contamination of clean rooms with microorganisms. The education and training of the personnel, the garments and the procedure to dress and rules for entry and the behavior are important factors. Requirements of personnel for aseptic area are as follows. Free from diseases to avoid microbial contamination. Should have complete knowledge about aseptic area and aseptic handling. Minimum staff in the filling room. All should use fresh sterile uniform. Avoid talking in aseptic area. Things should not be picked from floor. Complete sterility maintenance has to be adopted by the staff. Must have knowledge of microbiology if the aseptic handling has to be done. Now we will be discussing module 5, which is manufacturing practice. Manufacture means all the operations of purchase of materials and products. Production, quality control, which is also known as QC, release, storage and distribution of pharmaceutical products and the related controls. The products to be manufactured can be suspensions, solutions, emulsions or any other semi-solid dosage forms. Hence, the practices followed will be accordingly. As per GMP, manufacturing includes following. All manufacturing processes are clearly defined, systematically reviewed for associated risks in the light of scientific knowledge and experience, and shown to be capable of consistently manufacturing pharmaceutical products of the required quality that comply with their specifications. Qualification and validation are performed. All necessary resources are provided, including sufficient and appropriately qualified and trained personnel, adequate premises and space, suitable equipment and services, appropriate materials, containers and labels, approved procedures and instructions, suitable storage and transport, adequate personnel, laboratories and equipment for in-process controls. Instructions and procedures are written in clear and unambiguous language, specifically applicable to the facilities provided. Procedures are carried out correctly and personnel are trained to do so. Records are made manually and or by recording instruments during manufacture to show that all the steps required by the defined procedures and instructions have in fact been taken and that the quantity and quality of the product are as expected. Any significant deviations are fully recorded and investigated with the objective of determining the root cause, and appropriate corrective and preventive action is implemented. Records covering manufacture and distribution which enable the complete history of a batch to be traced are retained in a comprehensible and accessible form. The proper storage and distribution of the products minimizes any risk to their quality and takes account of good distribution practices, which is also known as GDP. A system is available to recall any batch of product from sale or supply. Complaints about marketed products are examined, the causes of quality defects investigated, and appropriate measures taken in respect of the defective products to prevent recurrence. Now comes SOP, which is Standard Operating Procedures. SOP is an authorized written procedure giving instructions for performing operations not necessarily specific to a given product or material. Example, equipment operation, maintenance and cleaning, validation, cleaning of premises and environmental control, sampling and inspection. Certain SOPs may be used to supplement product specific master and batch production documentation. Now we will see production of sterile products. Sterile products are of two types, parenterals and ophthalmics. Parenterals are again of two types, large volume parenterals and small volume parenterals. The following steps are performed for the production of parenterals. First is cleaning of equipments. Second is cleaning of containers and closures, preparation of solution or suspension or the dosage form to be manufactured. Fourth is filtration. Fifth, filling of the product in ampoules or vials, that is containers. Sixth is sealing. It could be by tip sealing method or pull sealing method. Seventh is sterilization. Eighth, tests for quality control. The important tests or quality control parameters are, first is sterility test. As per IP, there are two methods, method A and method B. Method A is membrane filtration method and method B is direct inoculation method. Second is clarity test. Third parameter is leakage test. Fourth is pyrogen test like rabbit test. Formulation of parenterals. Some of the formulation components needed are given below. First is vehicle, which could be aqueous or non-aqueous type. Second is antibacterial agents. Third, antioxidants. Fourth, buffers. Fifth, tonicity modifiers. And many more formulation parameters are there. Production of non-sterile products. Few examples of products include liquid orals. They could be of two types, monophasic liquids and biphasic liquids. Monophasic liquids like syrups, mixtures, elixirs, etc. Biphasic liquids like suspensions and emulsions. Suspensions again could be flocculated and non-flocculated. Emulsions could be oil in water or water in oil type. Second is external preparations. They generally include semi-solid ones like ointments, pastes, creams and suppositories. The important equipments needed are mixers, homogenizers, emulsifiers, filling machine, sealing machine, etc. Methods of preparation of few non-sterile products are given below. For emulsions, the methods used are dry gum method, wet gum method and bottle method. For preparation of ointments, the methods are trituration method, fusion method, chemical reaction method, emulsification method and using mechanical mixers. Next module is module 6, which is Master Formula Card. Master Formula Record or card is that standard manufacturing or packaging record which gives complete details of materials used along with their quantities, standard process, flow, area and equipment used, yield and reconciliation, instruction and precautions or any other information related to product. What is master formula? A document or set of documents specifying the starting materials with their quantities and the packaging materials, together with a description of the procedures and precautions required to produce a specified quantity of a finished product, as well as the processing instructions including the in-process controls. Then comes master record, a document or set of documents that serve as a basis for the batch documentation. Blank batch record, any master document prepared relating to the plant must include following: the name of the product together with product reference code relating to its specifications, the proprietary name of the product along with the generic name, strength of the product and batch size. Mention name, quantity and reference number of all the starting materials to be used. Also, any substance that may disappear in the course of processing must be mentioned. The master document must also contain the statement of the expected final yield with the acceptable limits and of relevant intermediate yields wherever applicable. Include a statement of the processing location and the principal equipment to be used. It must include the methods or the reference to the methods to be used for preparing the critical equipment, including cleaning, assembling and calibration. Detailed stepwise processing instructions and the time taken for each step must be clearly mentioned. This is very important. The instructions for in-process controls with their limits. The requirements for storage conditions of the products, including the container labeling and special storage conditions wherever applicable must be mentioned. Any special precautions to be observed must be included. Include packing details and specimen labels relating to the product. Now we come to module 7, which is production control. Production control is the task of predicting, planning and scheduling work, taking into account manpower, materials availability and other capacity restrictions and cost, so as to achieve proper quality and quantity at the time it is needed, and then following up the schedule to see that the plan is carried out using whatever systems have proven satisfactory for the purpose. The framework consists of 5 levels of planning and control. The levels are patient planning and control, patient group planning and control, resources planning and control, patient volumes planning and control, and strategic planning, though the last level does not make part of production control as such. Each of the levels of the framework is further elaborated in terms of the decisions made regarding patient flows and resources and the coordination of the different planning levels. Implications of the framework are discussed by describing some points where current practice deviates from assumptions made in our approach. Recommendations for future research and development of the planning framework are formulated. Now we will see what the module 8 is. It is manufacturing records. Maintenance of records is very important to be followed by all the sections of manufacturing like production, quality control, labeling, packaging, etc. How you will prepare these records? Preparation of batch manufacturing record, which is also known as BMR. Batch manufacturing record is a written document of the batch that is prepared during the pharmaceutical manufacturing process. It contains actual data of the batch manufacturing and whole manufacturing process step by step. A good batch manufacturing record should contain following parts. So now we are at the end and it is module 8, which is conclusion. So dear students, our today's lecture conclusion is the policy is made in the hospitals which decides the manufacturing of items in the hospitals. Future demand and costing finalizes the decision. The requirements of personnel and other facilities depends on the items manufactured. We have also studied the manufacturing practice including production of sterile and non-sterile products and maintaining master formula records, card and various other manufacturing records. With all these information, here we come to end of today's lecture. Hope we have understood the details related to the topic. Further, have a look again on the complete topic yourself so that you are thorough with it. The decision of manufacturing products in the hospital is based on policy of each hospital's demand and costing. So, dear students, this is Dr. Chanchal taking leave from you with the hope that you enjoyed and understood today's lecture. We will continue in our next lecture with the topic Drug Information Services. If you want to learn more and enhance your knowledge, you may log on to our website for MCQ, quizzes, LORs, www.cec.nic.in. Till then, keep studying. Goodbye.